Hello balloon friends, it's me Eddie Bath aka Mr. Magikyo coming at you from Tokyo. Today we're going to be learning Ninja Turtles or Hero Turtles maybe if you grew up in England like I did. Okay guys, let's get to it. Alright guys, we're going to start with the head. We are going to do 2 pinch twists followed by a bubble for his neck. And then we've got this loop here with another loop going around it. And there's some internal mechanics in there, which we'll get to in a second. What we want to do is we want to have this loop kind of wrapping around this centerpiece and have it so it's going all the way around with the centerpiece in the middle. So we're going to need a spacer bubble in there. Let's get to that. All right, you're going to need a lime green 260 blown up with about a 6-finger tail. We're going to do 1 pinch twist, followed by another pinch twist the same size. Then we're going to do the neck bubble. And now we're going to do a directional pinch twist. Now, a directional pinch twist, if that's the right word, that's one that is going to change the direction of the balloon. You can see this is actually, we're not going to see this. This is just shooting the balloon out this way because this is going to be the loop that goes around his head. But first, let's do that loop for his head. All right. Now we've got... Okay, so you can see what we've done. We've got the pinch twists for the bottom of his neck. We've got his neck. We've got this directional pinch twist. We've got this loop for the top of his head. And now we can loop this one around. But if we just loop it around now, we're going to have this big bit coming out the front and there'll be nothing at the back. So we're going to do a 1-finger spacer bubble followed by another pinch twist. This is a connection point pinch twist. And now we can wrap this piece all the way around back into this pinch twist. And now we can tear off the rest. For his chest and his shell, you're going to need a Mocha Brown and a blush blown up about halfway. Let's tie those together. And we will put those into the neck joint here from our head. Now we're going to give him the front of his chest, like his chest muscles. So we're going to do a 3-finger bubble followed by another 3-finger bubble. And then we'll do about a 5 or 6-finger bubble. I guess that would be for the back of his shell. Twist that around. And now we're going to complete the shell. So we'll come back up into the neck with the Mocha Brown. Slightly smaller bubble just to give it a curve. And then same again. Come back down here. So we've got 3 cylinder twists of Mocha Brown for his shell. And we need to complete the front of his chest as well. So we'll repeat what we've done with the Mocha. So that's another 3-finger bubble. Okay, we don't need the rest of this balloon anymore, so we can snap those off. Okay, so what I used to do with these chest muscle pieces is I used to twist this connection point here together, but it gave him a really kind of squeezed look that I wasn't happy with. So I've decided to leave those apart and we'll put a little belt over those guys later. For his hands, we're going to need another lime green 260 blown up about halfway. We're going to start with a 1-finger pinch twist, followed by a 2.5-finger flower twist for his hand. Now we're going to make his arm, but halfway along, let's find the joint where we think his elbow should be. We're going to make a little twist there for his elbow, and then make another cylinder twist there for the length of his arm. And now you can let go of that. We just wanted to make sure that there was enough space because we're going to give him a little elbow pad later. Now what we're going to do is we're going to wrap that arm into his neck. And repeat on the other side. So that's his arm. little spacer there for the elbow pad, his forearm, and now his hand. And now I can let go of that. Okay, and we tear that off. All right, now for his legs, you're gonna need another lime green 6D blown up about halfway. Let's do a pinch twist, followed by a petal twist for his foot. Now, similar to the arm, we're just gonna make that spacer, and we're gonna make a little mark where we think the knee pad is gonna go. We're just gonna stretch the balloon there, so we've got some space for the knee pad to come later, and we're gonna come up for the rest of his leg. Now we can let go of that. Now this is the joint that's going to go into his torso. What I'm going to do is a small 1 finger pinch twist, followed by another pinch twist. I'm going to do this one about 1.5 fingers. And then I will just repeat the other leg on this side. So that's the top of his leg, making a spacer for the knee, his shin, and I will repeat the same foot I did on the first side. And snap this off. Okay, so now we've got his legs with these little bits of soft joints there, which we're going to put the knee pads into later, and we can connect that into his torso. Now we're just going to wrap one of these pinch twists around this joint here. Position the larger of the 2 pinch twists at the back by his shell, and the front pinch twist is going to come up at the front in between his chest shell pieces like this, and then when the belt comes on later together like this, this is going to accentuate the angle of his shelly chest, which I think makes him look quite good. And this pinch twist on the back makes it so that you can position the legs how you like. For his belt, we're going to need a grey 350 and a white 260. We're just going to put a small 2-finger amount of air into the white, and we're going to tie that onto itself. Don't tie it too tight up to get, we don't want a bean shape on this one. We want to keep it nice and round. It's going to be the buckle for his belt. And for his belt, we're just going to put a puff of air in the 350 like so. Okay, we take the grey 350 with the puff of air and we just wrap it around his torso, going along the grooves of his tummy there. This belt is cool because not only does it look good, it's also functional. It's pulling his chest in there, so it's looking nice and symmetrical and tight. Now we've got this knot. It's not necessarily bad. You could just leave it like that, but let's put that buckle on as well. So we just take this white and tie it into that buckle joint there. If you're having a problem with the belt slipping down, you can always make an extra twist in this center cylinder twist of the Mocha Brown of the shell to keep it in its place. That's up to you. Next, we're going to add his bandana and his knee pads and his elbow pads with some 160s. Depending on which turtle you're making, you can choose your different color. I'm going to be choosing blue, which is Leonardo. He was always my favorite because he was the leader, wasn't he? Yes, he was. He was the leader. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a 2.5 finger cylinder twist followed by a 1 finger pinch twist. And then we can wrap that around this loop for his head. Let's keep the pinch twist side on the side of his head, not at the back, because we like to see it. Twist that into the pinch twist, and then we're going to make a slightly longer cylinder twist than the first one. The first one was 2.5 fingers. Let's make this next one about 3.5. And tear that off. Don't throw that away if you can keep it. We'd like to conserve balloons if we can. We're going to use that for the knee pads and the elbow pads. With the remainder of our 160, we can get to work on those elbow pads. So we're going to do a small 1 finger pinch twist. And now we're going to wrap that around this arm joint. But first, let's make a twist in the arm. And now we're going to follow around. We're not going to actually twist into this joint. We're just going to follow the groove along there. And we can tie that off. I'm not sure if I'm going to get another one out of this, but I might be able to. All right, and once you've put the elbow pads and the knee pads on, you should have your turtle ready to roll. Now we can get on to the artwork. All right, for his eyes and mouth, we're going to use our Edding 750 marker, and we're going to give him these triangles for his eyes like so.
And on the other side, yeah.
All right. In the old comics, his eyes were just like that. They just had just the white, but I think we're going to put some pupils in as well. And then for his mouth, we're going to give him this this like kind of gnarly snare. It's like, it's doing like one of these. So we're going to draw this this shape like this.
And then we'll just fill that in.
While you're waiting for the Edding to dry, you can do a kind of really small, thin, black outline around the eyes like this. And we can outline the mouth as well. For his teeth, we're just going to do a line in the middle. And then we'll give him some eyes as well, some pupils. All right, let's look at the artwork of this Leonardo Ninja Turtle. We've got these kind of triangle eyes here. Where possible, try and keep the bottom of this line as flat as possible or coming slightly at an angle. Whatever you do, don't put it the other way because that's going to make him look sad. All right, guys, you can see there's a tiny bit of shadow here as well on the sides of his mouth. This is just kind of emphasizing the top row of teeth he has there. And it's up to you whether or not you want to put these little lines in to show his teeth. Next, we're going to have to give him some irises. I cannot remember what color eyes Leonardo has, so let me just check on my Nintendo Turtles in Time game. We'll just check on those eyes there. Oh, no, it's not on there. Okay, don't worry. I'm just going to check on my 1980s Turtles Tops collector cards with bubblegum inside. I'm pretty sure the bubblegum's still in there, actually. Oh no, the information's not there. All right, I'm gonna have to check on the internet. Okay, Leonardo has blue eyes. Donatello has brown eyes. Michelangelo has light blue eyes, and Raphael has green eyes. All right, so just before we finish the tutorial, just a few points that we can take into consideration. This is a great, fun Ninja Turtle to make, but there's actually quite a few complicated bits on it. For example, these knee pads, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 different balloons you've got to twist. And if I'm honest, without editing, loads of them popped and came undone. And if I was doing that in real time at a birthday party, I have to admit that would probably stress me out. So I'm not sure if it's worth it. Of course, if you're making this for the birthday boy, then I would advise putting on all of these extras, including the belt and the buckle and this stuff. In fact, if I was going to make it for the birthday boy, I would probably do this up in 350s. It's going to have even more of an impact. But if you're going to make one for every kid in the party, I probably would advise skipping out on the white buckle and the armbands and the elbow bands because you're probably going to want to keep the weapons if you can. And also, most people probably wouldn't even notice without. For example, look, there's Donatello, no armbands. He's still looking awesome. Wow! That's the... Michelangelo there with his nunchucks. Again, he's got no armbands or knee pads, but he's still pretty awesome. And I think you're going to save a lot of time on that. And of course, we got the Raphael as well. Again, no armbands or elbow pads, and I still think he looks pretty awesome. So yeah, that's up to you. Just something that you can take into consideration when you're making these Ninja Turtles. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.